Arknights Endfield might be one of the most anticipated upcoming gachas of 2026. From the absolutely stunning character designs to the immersive story experience and even pretty difficult endgame, this is a game that a lot of people have been anticipating and looking forward to for a really long time. Now, I'm lucky enough to have got access to Beta 2, and Arknights Endfield did sponsor this video, but all the information that I'm going to put forward here is going to answer the question of, is it ready for a full release yet? So let's start off with my personal experience with the second beta. The first thing that I really noticed about Arknights Endfield is that it is running on a modified Unity engine, but they have really pushed this engine to the limits. We load into the game and we get an absolutely breathtaking cutscene. The graphical fidelity of this game is through the roof. You can see the raindrops on the character's mask, on the clothing, on the skin, and the environments look absolutely beautiful. I didn't run into any lag problems or FPS drops or anything like that either, which is a really good sign considering this is going to be on PC and mobile. The introduction to the game during Beta 2 was pretty good. I think it's definitely a big improvement from previous betas. So for the first 20 minutes, you basically get shoved into this brand new world, and you get to unfold what's kind of going on, the story behind why you're there. And during the story elements of this, you do get some tutorials for things like combat. Combat systems have changed quite a bit since the first beta. Now, for example, if you do perfect dodges, it actually refunds a portion of the stamina used to dodge, and it doesn't break your normal attack chain combo. This is two things that really does aid in the combat feeling a lot more fluid than before, and one of the better changes for Beta 2. The story's pretty easy to follow, at least for the most part. If you played OG Arknights, you're probably going to understand a little bit more, but as somebody who's only delved into surface level world building and lore for OG Arknights, I could still follow along pretty easily. Now, I did mention you get a few tutorials for the combat, and although I think these tutorials are done really well, the further we get into the game, the more systems we do unlock, and there does seem to be a lot of required pop-up tutorials that kind of take your immersion out of the gameplay experience. My hope for this is that maybe they can add two different modes for tutorials, like a detailed mode that is exactly like this and goes through all of the information, because for certain systems like the factory building systems, you're gonna need to know a lot of new information about this to be able to make it work properly. Unless you're already used to games like this, it's a totally brand new system for, I would argue, a lot of gacha players. So these tutorials, in my opinion, are way more necessary than a lot of the others. I'd like a secondary optional mode to play, which is more of a condensed experience, where the tutorials are still logged inside the logbook so you can go back to them at any point, but they're not taking you out of the immersive experience by popping up and demanding your attention every single time. The factory building system is something in Arknights that not many, if any, other gacha games have done that I'm aware of. I think it's a good system. I enjoy it a lot, and I think it is going to be a core fundamental aspect of what separates Arknights from other gacha games. Now again, it's not super intuitive if you haven't really taken part in this kind of gameplay before, but Arknights do a really good job of holding your hand through it and explaining each step bit by bit. In the last Arknights video that I uploaded, where we got to test this game earlier than this, they just added the blueprint system, which is going to make this a ton easier for people that don't really want to spend the time to learn how to create perfect factories. You can basically just yoink blueprints from other players and build accordingly. Now, the music in Arknights is really good. From the open world music to insane boss themes and brand new location music, everything feels pretty immersive. I've heard a few people complain that some of the tracks do fall flat, but I think that's going to be a given because music really is just super subjective. It's hard to kind of branch everybody under the same umbrella when it comes to music and a lot of other things in regards to video games in general, right? What you love, someone else might not. For me, the music really hit all the nails on the head that I could have hoped for. I did a bit of exploring live on stream for the Beta 2, and the exploration feels pretty damn good. Now, this game does lack the ability to double jump and climb and glide, but it is replaced with the ability to zipline. You can construct your own ziplines in the open world, get from point A to B pretty easily. And again, I don't think every game needs to do everything the exact same. I think this is a very unique way of allowing players to still traverse the world, but in a way that's unique to Arknights. Now, I want to talk about character designs and the gacha system for this game, because at the end of the day, this is still a gacha game. The character designs are absolutely amazing. I think the fact that all of these characters have kind of like animalistic traits is a big plus for me. It really does make a lot of the designs way more unique, even just by adding something as simple as horns, ears, or tails. There's some really cool features in Arknights where if you use the camera to, for example, look at a character's tail, they'll kind of side-eye you as if you're not supposed to be looking down there. But yeah, dude, character designs are just phenomenal. Take a look at these. I've always vibed with Arknights character details, to be fair. But the gacha system is quite different to a lot of other gacha games. So for the limited banners, the charted headhunting has a 0.8% base drop rate for 6-star operators. That That's right, there's 6-stars in this game. You're guaranteed to get a 6-star operator within 80 headhunting attempts, and attempts towards that guarantee do carry over to other charted headhunting banners. So on surface level, that sounds great. 80 pity for a guaranteed 6-star operator, and pity carries over. 5 stars work similar to 4 stars in other games here. It's an 8% base drop rate for 5-star operators. You have an equal chance for each available 5-star operator, and you're guaranteed to get a 5-star or better within 10 pulls. There is also 4-star operators in this game with a 91.2% base drop rate chance, and again with equal chances for each available 4-star operator. Now, if we take a look at the banner here, it does say the rate up character once only is guaranteed in 120 pulls. Now, I was kind of uncertain as to what this meant just because it's quite different to a lot of other gacha games I've played, especially when it's telling you on one hand there's 80 pity for a guaranteed character, but the rate up character has like a specific pity. As far as I could tell, what this means is every 80 pity you're guaranteed a 6-star character, but there's no guarantee you're ever going to be able to get the rate up character unless you get this once only attempt to guarantee at 120 pulls. What this means is, and this is unheard of, it's never going to happen, but if you got 10 6-star characters in one temple, there is a chance that all 10 of those could be random characters that don't include the rate up character. There's no like guarantee after losing your 50-50. Now, this definitely isn't the worst system in the world because it does mean that you're guaranteed to get the character anyway after 120 pulls. However, as far as I'm aware, this doesn't carry over to other banners. So my take on this is, if I'm somebody that's, for example, free to play and I don't have a ton of time to play the game, if I manage to get like 110 pulls, for example, for this character that I really like, and then the banner changes, I'm straight back to losing all of that progress for the rate up character. It'll go straight back to 120. I think at bare minimum this needs to change to at least let the guaranteed pity carry over to the future banners as well. In this modern gacha era, a lot of games are really evolving the gacha system by things like removing 50-50 and making it a lot more generous, and I feel like this is one way Arknights could build a lot of community favor. Now, I'm pretty sure by pulling on the character banners, you do also obtain a currency to allow you to pull for the weapons. Characters and weapons are totally split in terms of what you're going to get from each pull. Character banners only have characters, weapon banner only has weapons. So you can see how many weapon banner tickets you're going to get for obtaining different rarities of characters here. I think this is a pretty good way to run the weapon banner, to be honest. I don't have many issues with this at all. I do think weapons are just going to be a lot easier to obtain this way, especially for free-to-play players. We'll see in the future if there's other ways to obtain this kind of currency other than pulling. At the minute, I'm pretty sure the battle pass and pulling is pretty much the only way to do it, but I would like them to add the ability to be able to clear certain content in the game to get this currency as well, even if it's a finite small amount. Now, what you're about to see next is actually footage from the test server that I got access to from Arknights Endfield, not from Beta 2. I want to go through some details here just to show you some of the improvements that have been made, because I covered this kind of build when I flew to LA, and even since then, in the short amount of time it's been, there's been some massive improvements. So the new area ruling looks absolutely stunning, and now there is a little bit more story that leads you up to entering the big city. It's got some insanely cool scenery, some really awesome characters, and the music, I'm just gonna let this play for you while I'm riding on this boat here, and you can just listen. It's so immersive, it's so nice and peaceful, until it's not and the trees start moving and everything starts coming alive, and then, oh my god, hot woman. But jokes aside here, they've done a really good job with making the entrance to the brand new place feel a lot cooler rather than just entering it after a fight. Now, from what I played as well, the endgame in Arknights Endfield honestly does feel really good. I think they've kind of nailed the combat. The only things I'd say is for the open world, combat feels ridiculously easy sometimes, and I feel like there's not really too much of a challenge there. The endgame, on the other hand, really does punish you if you don't play properly, dodge mechanics, use combination attacks, and skills to be able to interrupt the enemy, and have decent enough builds. I think it's a perfect balance of difficulty for the endgame, but I would like to see maybe a difficulty option so that all types of players can enjoy the open world and story as well. Genuinely, I've had a really good time playing Arknights Endfield, and as much as I would love to say it is absolutely ready for release, I think the changes to the gacha system and a couple of tweaks to the tutorial system would put it in a much better launch position. The rest of the game, I mean, I'm still playing it even in my spare time when I'm not streaming. It's fun, I'm having a good time. I just hope a couple of things are tweaked before the full release. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for future Arknights content, and thank you again to Arknights Endfield for sponsoring today's video.